Welcome back to Sports Massage Therapy Education. Today we're going to be looking at sciatica. One of the first things we need to be able to do is distinguish between whether it's muscular or whether it's skeletal. So that's where obviously your assessment's going to come in. So one of the first things you're going to want to do if a client comes in with any of the symptoms that it could potentially be sciatica is you're going to want to perform your slump test to start with. I am going to be uploading the video on how to perform that test later this week, so it's worth subscribing if you want to see that one. But then that doesn't necessarily tell you whether it's skeletal or not. That just kind of would give you a positive or a negative result as to whether there is sciatica present there. The other test I would then normally do after that is the Piriformis test. And the reason for that is I feel it's extremely important to understand if it is a muscular issue and the Piriformis test. And the reason I say this particular muscle and is because purely if people are sitting down for long periods of time, it can be very common for the piriformis to become tight, and where it sits over the top of that sciatic nerve, it can start putting pressure on it. But unfortunately in the industry, we tend to jump towards that muscle as being the cause all the time. It's not always the case. So it's why I like to perform that piriformis test to see if it is or not. And again, I'll be uploading a full kind of step-by-step on that test later this week. So I like to look at the lower back. With sciatica, if it is a disc issue, more than likely it's going to be a referral. So just always bear that in mind. But if it is a muscular issue, we can start doing things to relieve the pain. And I think that's one of the key things to take away from this is a lot of it is going to be relief. We don't want to start saying, oh, we can cure sciatica or whatever. You know, it's not always the case. Like, yes, there could be situations. Let's say, hypothetically, it is the piriformis. Yes, we could potentially get rid of that problem by, releasing the muscle. But then there's always going to be a root cause somewhere. So unless you can find that root cause, you're not necessarily going to cure, shall we say, the problem. It's always just going to be relief. So I like to start with the lower back. And as you'll notice, I've obviously just done a little bit of ringing just to kind of help loosen it off. Obviously, always make sure you've done your effleurage first. But one of the things I like to do is I like to give the lower back a nice little stretch all the way over with this stripping technique. So just obviously where the spine is, so that kind of lumbar region. You may even find obviously you're hitting kind of around the T11, T12 as well. But I like to just over the side, so obviously you kind of find those little transverse processes there. Just off of those, just a nice little bit of a strip over there. Soften off some of this tissue, because often this can be extremely tight, especially if somebody's got sciatica. The lower back, and again, this is just me kind of generalizing, but a lot of the time there's going to be some mild lordosis, potentially moderate to severe as well. So these muscles are naturally going to be a little bit tighter, and already I can actually feel on this particular side it is tighter. So always just kind of bear that in mind. But nice, again, like I say, gentle, strip him, really kind of stretch it all out. Again, you naturally, obviously for the sake of the video, I'll perform this the other way round. But again, hooking in, pulling towards me. But in reality, you're just going to walk around the bed. You'll perform this the other way. Another one I like to do now is a bit of like a cross stretch. So you almost kind of want to find a position where you can get this comfortably. Hands opposite. And it's nice just to kind of really push across. Help take out some of that tension. And again, we just want to alleviate as much pressure in the lower back as we can. What I'd also suggest, if the client is comfortable with it, is just hitting the top of those glutes as well. Because again, the sciatic nerve, we always kind of look towards the lower back, but the nerve itself runs all the way through the glutes down the legs. So it could be one of these glute muscles is tight, it's putting pressure down. So always try and hit the top of those glutes if you can. Okay, another muscle that we need to look at, I like to call this the Harry Potter muscle, the quadratus lumborum. It's like you're doing a spell. But give it a little bit of a loosen off. Obviously it touches, obviously just around here, it's going to go up to around the bottom ribs. It's not massive in size, but it does sit a little bit deep. So it's not nice to try and just get those thumbs down. So just let me know when this gets to about a 6 or a 7. Yeah. And then just give it a nice little strip just through there. And you want to repeat this until it starts to soften off a little bit. I'll just remove this hand so you guys can see a little bit clearer. Just really getting in and just trying to hit that muscle. You can also, if you need to, I don't like to use the term elbow because I'm not going to necessarily drop right in on that elbow, but just around here, so kind of the bottom end of that forearm and the elbow itself. A little tip I like to suggest most of my learners when I'm training them. Place your hand on the other one and push down a tad, because what you want to do is kind of tilt that elbow up. Especially when you're working this region, what you don't want to do is find you're putting too much pressure on the spine. So just applying that down to change that angle is just going to help. And then we're going to drop in and really sink that up. If you need to, you can kind of drop, hold for a minute, almost do like a little circular friction if you need to. And again, apply back on till you find another tighter spot, stop, drop in, and really kind of stretch that up. And you're just going to repeat this until that you're happy that you've noticed that one side has loosened off over the other one. Then you're just going to repeat until the other one matches what you've just achieved on this side. So just another one I like to do here on the lower back. Just kind of, again, we kind of did something similar earlier where we found kind of the end of those transverse processes and we gave it a nice little stretch out. But just something that I find can actually just be quite relaxing. You're just getting those hands in and just working in a little circular motion. Kind of going up and down, getting onto that erector spinae. Obviously, I'm just kind of giving you a little bit of an example here. You can do this for as long as you need to until you're comfortable that you've achieved something there and the muscle has kind of melted into it a little bit. And again, it'd be exactly the same on the other side. You could even use your thumbs if you need to, and just that gentle kind of work. Just really kind of going up and down, just focusing on loosening everything off. But as I do it, I like to just push away from it. So applying that pressure away from the spine just kind of helps to really pull everything open and take away some of that pressure that could be kind of restricting some of that mobility there on the spine. Okay, so one of the last things I like to do when I'm working the lower back, I like to do a little bit of decompression work, albeit you might only offer them a little bit of temporary relief, but it can take away some of that pressure. So what I like to do, placing my forearm just up here and the other one just on the top of the glutes. And all we're going to do is just slide across till you get a nice little grip, pushing away with both arms, just to help decompress that area. And you can start from the middle, work your way out. And all we're doing is just decompressing that spine a little bit, which can sometimes help just to get those muscles just to kind of surrender a little bit and ease off to take away some of that pressure the client is experiencing. Okay, so we're going to look at the piriformis now, and I mentioned earlier that it can be one of the muscles that can help relieve some of that sciatic pain that the client is feeling, but we need to know the location of it first so that we're not doing any kind of release work on some of the other glutes. Not that it would necessarily be a bad thing, but if we're trying to get to that piriformis, we want to be as accurate as possible. So the piriformis is going to sit on that anterior surface of the sacrum, and it's going to come across to the greater trochanter, so kind of that head of the femur now. So what we want to do, first of all, is kind of feel up that leg until we can feel that greater trochanter just there. And obviously from here across to that anterior surface is where that piriformis is going to lie. So one of the first things we can do is just a bit of gentle release work. So we can get our hands just in here. So just let me know when this gets to about 6 or 7. Okay, so now we're here. All I'm going to do is just rock through this muscle a little bit, applying that pressure because we want to get underneath that glute. And we just want to try and loosen it a little bit. So there, actually even there just feels tight. So let me know when this gets to a 6 or 7. Yeah. So again, just a little bit of gentle work. And you're going to do this, you're going to kind of work your way up till you almost at kind of at that greater trochanter there. You just want to release as much as possible. But what we're going to do now, we're going to kind of trigger point and almost do like a bit of a soft tissue release work through there as well. So the way I like to do this is you want to bring this back leg up And what I'm gonna do, so I'm actually gonna turn away from you guys for a second, is drop my elbow just in on here. So just let me know when this gets to 7 already. And then when we're there, all I'm gonna do is pull this towards me until it naturally wants to stop. We don't wanna force this. How's that feel?
Yep, 7.
And I'm just gonna hold it. Because with the piriformis being responsible for that external rotation, what we're basically doing is pinning that muscle down, but bringing that hip into that external rotation. So it's causing that muscle to kind of stretch out and hopefully trigger point when we need to get it to release. And then we're going to release it there. You can go back, soften it off a little bit if you need to. And you can do this 2, 3, 4 times, whatever you feel is kind of necessary. But this is that piriformis test that I spoke to you about earlier. So what we would then do is bring them both up, and immediately you can see how much further this one wants to come out now compared to this one, whereas that wants to pull the hips across. So you can see that we've already released that piriformis and improved the level of flexibility that's available there. And that's pretty much going to be a wrap on this one. So just to give you an idea, some of the other things you could look at doing as well, you could look at maybe working the hamstrings, working onto the gastrocnemius, the soleus and things like that as well, depending obviously where they're experiencing the pain. I wouldn't necessarily say that some of these would necessarily be the, where the pain originates from, but it can offer some temporary relief. So always focus on the lower back, get those glutes as well. And again, as soon as those videos drop, watch how to perform the slump test, how to do the piriformis test, because those two are going to obviously indicate, certain things, whether it is the piriformis that's the issue, whereas the slump test is obviously going to give you a negative or a positive for sciatica. So always make sure you do those correctly. And again, I've just given you a small snippet here. Obviously, you're going to repeat this. You're going to keep going back and forth, really making sure you kind of loosen everything off so that client can walk away feeling in their best possible condition. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is another wrap on another video for you guys. So biggest takeaway from this one, and I like to say this to all of my learners, is if in doubt, refer out. Especially with something like sciatica. If you're not 100% sure it's a muscular issue that we can potentially do, refer them out, get a second opinion. It might be you send them to a chiropractor, a physio, osteopath, whoever it might be, and they might go, yep, do you know what, this is muscular, send you back some advice, you're good to carry out that treatment plan with your client. But if in doubt, just refer them out. It's not worth the risk. So just bear that in mind. But as always, if you've liked the video, don't forget to like, comment and subscribe, and I will see you in the next one.